Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today, we are going to finish my video for KindaKore using LumaFusion. But first, see, I'm not even prepared. I'm not even prepared. Hello! Look at this. You've caught me off guard because I was supposed to have something ready to play, and here it is, and I'm not prepared. That's terrible. Whoa. Man, some days you just don't get it right, yeah? So I wanted to kick off today. Let's just do it like this. Now you've kind of seen what's going on. So I want to kick off today with a video that, again, my friend Kevin Hart has produced. Kev Hart has created using LumaFusion. Because it's really cool and it just shows the quality of stuff that you can do. So we'll come back, say hello to everybody in a second. Let's bang this up. This is The Sign of the Witch by KTH Metal Shack. Oh, yeah. Damn straight, yeah? Now look, even if you're a metalhead or you're not a metalhead, you have to admit, that's some pro-looking stuff right there, you know? That's the kind of shit that you see on a music video, on TV, on fucking MTV, all that kind of shit. That's the stuff, you know. And again, story blocks. But it's all about the editing and how you put things together. Try and find things that are similar and all that kind of stuff. It's incredibly possible to make incredibly very cool video clips using story blocks in here. So let's jump out of here. Hello to everybody. Say hello. If you're watching over on Facebook, welcome to you. Come over to YouTube if you want. Escape the craziness of QAnon. Hello to everybody over here at the YouTube at youtube.com/JadeStarr. Or if you're watching over at the Twitch, I can see a person. There's someone over there watching over at Twitch at twitch.tv/howtoapp on iOS. Or you can watch the show daily in the browser at howtoapp.on-ios.com. Cool. Let's say hello to people in the chat and then we'll dive in and we'll wrap up this bloody video clip that we've been doing for the last 3 episodes. This is the 4th one, I think. Is it the 4th? Or I don't know. Who knows? Who am I? What is my name? Dave Fox, hello to you. Hello, Joe Glenn. Hello, Cy. Effing good to see you as always. Hello to Notterbox. Thank you for your kind email, Notterbox. I took everything that you said on board. We'll discuss that too. There's some changes I have made. Thomas Christ, hello to you. Hello to Payin to Get. Ching ching. Darren Anderson, hello to you, my friend. Good to see you. Zoltan N, hello. Rust8889, hello. Awesome to see you. Let me see. As a scrolling. Get that mousy rolling rawhide. Thomas Gillane, always good to see you. There's quite a few people here who are going to be featured in tomorrow's birthday show, which is really cool as well. Thomas Gillane, who else did I see? Dave Mann, welcome to you. Good evening. Anybody else who I may have missed? I don't think so. I think I've got everybody here who's here at this moment. If not, forever hold your peace. So help me something. Cool. All right, let's jump over and have a look at any price drops, because guess what? There are some really cool price drops today from some apps that I really love. Excuse me. Oh, I just needed to cough then. Got the morning coughs going on. There I am. Whoa. So, let's have a looky here. Beat Cutter. One of my favorite apps from this year is on sale, and all of Igor's apps are on sale currently on the App Store. So, Beat Cutter, Soundscaper. So, you're looking at about $5-6 off. $5 off. Beat Cutter, Soundscaper, half price almost. Synthscaper, Soundsaw, Synthscaper LE. So all of Igor's apps are on sale at the moment. If you don't know about them, or you do know about, if you don't know about them, you can go back and watch previous shows on Beat Cutter, which I love a lot. Synthscaper, Soundsaw, which is really cool. I love that too. And Synthscaper LE, some of my 4 favorite apps. They're all on sale. I've done videos on them all. If you don't know what they're about, they're very, very cool. Great for making soundscapes, crazy noises, really demented stuff. Awesome. So yeah, there's some savings for you. Happy days. And what do we got? I don't know how long they're on sale for, but hello to, who did I say? Adam Burse is here as well. Hello, Adam. Good to see you. And Kev Hart, you just missed your track. We opened with your Witches track today. Kind of a bit chaotic. So, cool bananas. All right, before we jump in, I will let you know here on this page, on this thing that we do. Tomorrow it is my Songtember kickoff tomorrow. And what am I doing? Because it's my birthday as well. I'm turning 48 tomorrow. So what are we going to do? We're going to do a 2-hour show. Instead of me bleating about who I am and my music and stuff, for 2 hours, I'm going to play your music. The people from this community, yeah? And I'm not going to call it Your Music Live. I'm going to call it YML, but I'm going to call it Your Mum Live. Your Mum. So join us for that. There's a lot of music that I'm going to fit into 2 hours. I'm playing whole songs too, so I can see there's a whole bunch of people here whose music I have selected. It's not a thing where I get you to send in your songs. I'm just going to play songs from over the last year and almost 2 years. by people who I really like, great songs that are from this community. So tune in and we'll be celebrating. It'll be 6 a.m. here in the morning, and guess what? I'll be drinking beer at 6 a.m. So it's gonna get messy. So if you're in for a car crash, come along, man. It's gonna be fun. And we'll be talking about song timbre and all that jazz as well. Cool. All right, let's jump into LumaFusion for the day, for the last day of this project, and see what we can do. Good fun. Nice drink from Russ's Delicate Giant's cup of coffee. All right, so what we're going to do today, let me just move this screen around. Get the project line a little bit bigger here. So I've added in a few things. You may notice there's a few stacks on top of here from yesterday. So I'm starting to build things out a little bit to create some interesting kind of effects. And as we go on with the rest of this project, we shall add some more. All right, so what is the first thing that I've added in here? Well, it is the logo and the name of the song. So yesterday we did this, added the logo up here, and now I put down here the actual song title. So I'm trying to get that aesthetic of, you know, like an actual video clip with the title of the song, what record label it's on, so it fades in with the logo. So pretty simple to do that. I'll just open up my GoDaddy Studio that I use a hell of a lot. You can do this in any photo app. Just create a PNG. So here is the file that I made. There is the writing. I've put a basically on this text. If I click on the text, I've just added a shadow to it. So we've got some shadows, and it's just against a clear background. So pretty basic stuff. And then I've actually saved that out down here as a PNG. So it's a transparent background, and I can include that into the project. What else am I going to add? Because I've made something else for the end of the track. And what I want at the end of the track is something like this. I want something that pops up with a photo of the album, or the single cover, the logo, the writing of the title of the song. It's available now, and some little links to which streaming services it's on. So these are all individual things here. So just the available now, some transparency of the distributors. So the title and the album cover, pretty basic stuff. And I've made the background the same size as the actual screen. So let's jump out of here, and I've just saved this as a PNG. So now let's go in and add this to the end of our clip, our video clip. So we'll scoot to the end. There we are. Now I need to find this clip because I've already imported it into LumaFusion. I'm going to do a search because I know it's called GoDaddy. I think it's in here. If I do a GODADD, it's not in here. I've got to import it. How good's that? So what I've done is, let's do this. I think I've saved it somewhere. Did I save it in here? There it is. So I've already saved this in my Documents app. So what I'm going to do now is share this. Go up here to these dots, and I'm going to share this into LumaFusion. So I can go across the top here, find LumaFusion, and instantly it has put the photo up here. So there it is. I can now just drag this into the timeline. And now we've got, because it's a transparent background and the video that I'm doing is I've set to black. Let's have a look at that just to show you how you do that. Down in the settings, bottom corner, maybe. You can actually set the background color down here, yeah? See how we've got background color? So you can do that when you set up your initial project. So because it's transparent, it fits in nicely there, but it's a little bit too big. I want to actually shrink that down a bit because you can see it's right on the edge. So I'm going to click on the file and just take my size here and just pull this down a bit. That's about right. So now at the end, once the song's finished, it will show that the track's actually available online. We'll get back to this. We'll come back to this at the end and add some transitions and stuff, so it all works well with the last part of the clip. Alrighty, let's go back to the start and I'll show you some of the stuff that I've added to this. So let's just play the first few seconds so you can see the title come up. So you would have noticed just then, I noticed in the chat yesterday, who was it? It was, who said it? It was Not a Box. Not a Box said at the beginning, I think it was Not a Box who said it. I'm going off my memory shit. When that snare hit comes in at the start, there's an opportunity there to put something into the timeline. So what I did that, I actually went in here and you can see these three little pieces here. I've matched them up to the actual snare hits. So you can see down the bottom here, there's our first snare, another one here, and another one here. And what I've put in there, I could probably move this a little bit. Let's do that. It's probably not right in the right place. So I'm gonna, and here's another thing. See this line that's connecting this video clip? So that's a link. It's a lock link kind of thing. So if I try and move that now, it's attached to this clip below. How do I unattach that? There's a little link button down here. I'm going to click that and now you see the line disappears. Now I can actually move this around. So I want to line it up, see if I can get it closer to there. I probably can't. That's probably the closest I'm going to get. Maybe it was good where it was. That's, you know what? Now I'm going to link that back up. So you'll notice with those hits, and what are these images? So they are a pile of skulls. And what I've done is I've changed the transparency of them. I've changed the blending. So they're all at 30% blending here. So they're just over the top. And the first one is the actual size of the video. And then for the second one, I've actually zoomed in a little bit. So you see I've zoomed in, so it's a little bit different than the first one. So you can see this skull here to the right. And then the last one is a real serious close-up of the actual full skull. So if we play that again, let's just go from the beginning again, go full screen so you can see it. Sweet. Right, let's talk about this teddy bear. You notice there's a blur going on with it. So what I did with this is I actually copied three more versions of the teddy bear. Let's zoom out so you can get a better perspective. So if you notice, there's three more tracks of the teddy bear, and you notice here they're going up in steps, up like that, in steps. So they're a point behind each other. And for each one, I've actually gone in and changed the blending of them. If we click on blending again, so these are down 30% blends. So they're the same size. I haven't changed any of the size. It's exactly the same. They're all just a little microsecond behind, and they're all at 30%. So now you'll notice it's creating this really cool blur effect just by copying them in a step. So they're all just a little bit behind. Play that again. Just makes it that little bit more demented, I guess. And what's cool about it is it's another different kind of shot. So it's just got a little change to it that makes it a little bit more interesting. What I've also done here, let's talk about this next clip, the hand here. You'll notice it starts off, I've really tried to brighten it up and make it much more colorful. So if I double click on this clip here and go into down here, I've brought up the saturation and the vibrance. I've tried to make it as colorful as possible, yeah? But I've got a transition going on. So I've got key points set from the start to the end, and the very end of the key point goes black and white. And so I've achieved that by turning down the saturation. So I wanted to create the kind of image of, not only do we have like this glove sitting out in the snow for a long time with this, you can see the snow landing on it, and to symbolize that it's been there for a while, but to kind of make it go noir, black and white, to kind of give the impression of time, So that's that. So there's just minor little differences I've made on here, just to make things a little bit more exciting. This particular one here, what I want to do with this is I want to add a blur to it. I want to add a motion blur. So I'm going to double click on this, and I already have a motion blur saved kind of thing. So I mentioned yesterday about saving your presets, and up here in the top right hand corner you've got this little star. You can click on that, and here's where all your presets are. So if I scroll to the bottom, I've got this one called Zoom. So if I add this now, and you'll see what it's added to this is a bunch of effects. So we have a high contrast, we have this battle effect here with this LUT that's in there, and I've got a zoom, and I've got this effect. I don't think I need this effect on here, so I'll remove that. Yeah, I don't need it. Now for this clip, we should have a zoom effect, and you'll see if I turn it off, there's the difference. Yeah, so it's just going through that cavern, but with this zoom effect on. And what I can do with this, I can grab this middle point here, and I want to actually move it into the middle of the actual tunnel. So that's the center point of the scene that we're going through here. So everything else, we could probably keep it about there actually, and that's going to be enough because it does move around a bit. So we've got this little zoom effect going on. Let's go back out and look at it in the full screen. Did I turn it back on? Yeah, I did. Cool. All right, so we'll go back to the teddy bear and the glove so you can have a look at what's going on. Cool, yeah. Again, subtle differences. This is the little part at the end that you're just adding these tiny little things to make it a little bit more interesting, because you don't need to go over the top. There's probably a few things I have gone over the top with, and we'll discuss those in a second. All right, this could be one of them. So this is the clip of the woman here, who I've got all these crazy jump cuts in here. And the more I looked at this yesterday, I was like, I don't want it just to disappear. So what I've done is I found another clip of a woman here, let's zoom in on it, of her screaming. And instead of her just disappearing, I've tried to add this woman's mouth opening and screaming, and this woman disappearing into the screaming mouth. Does it work? I don't know. But I've got used to it. I think it's okay. So there's a few things here I want to cover because this is really interesting, yeah? Now, with this woman here, I'm going to, the top one, the actual mouth, I'm going to double click on it. Right, so you'll, this isn't what I want to show you. What I want to show you is actually the clip below. So the actual, the clip that's shrinking. So I'm going to double click on this. Now, with the actual woman, I've had to put on a green screen on there because what happened, the background is black. So as the image shrinks, the square of the actual photo was, you could see it. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to turn off the chroma key, which is, see here, dark Luma key. I'm going to turn this off. And as it moves, you can see that? See the square of the outline of the actual photo? So it looks shit. It looks terrible. We don't want that. Here's what's really cool about the chroma key, the green screen within LumaFusion. You don't actually have to use a green chroma key. If we click up here up the top where the little key is, where all your chroma keys are, you'll see you've got green screen, blue screen, ocean, light, blue, and you've got a dark Luma key. So you might have something that has a black background. So when you turn this on, it removes. Let's turn it back on. Look at that. Turn it off. Turn it on. We've removed the background, the black background, instead of the green background. So remember, you may come across things that have blue backgrounds, or green, or black, even like light, like white. You can do it with multiple, there are colors you can do it with. So that really worked for me. So now if we go back out, she disappears into the mouth, and there's no, even when it gets really far, look at this, you can see that black there. That would have looked absolutely shite. Hello, Auntie G. Is there anybody I've missed who's, hope you're doing well, Auntie G. I'm playing your music on tomorrow's show. I can let you know. God, there's heaps of you who I'm playing your music tomorrow on the show. I'm not going to tell you all. So let's turn on this, there you go. So I'm going to keep this for now. I think it's pretty cool. Let's play it and show you what it looks like. Because it's really quick. The mouth opens really quick. It's not something that, you know, steals your attention too much. All right, so here's another thing. I've got a whole bunch of fire green screen things. So I thought I would throw this on here as well. And because it's talking about money and money being worthless, I thought I would try putting this fire green screen on here. And what I've noticed with it, see the little white edges here? So you can see these white edges. They're actually showing up. I don't know if that's the clip underneath or it's the actual fire. So we're going to see what that is. So I'm now on this fire clip, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the size of it to see if that makes a difference. Yeah, it's probably that. So I'm going to zoom it in a little bit, make it larger, sorry. Yeah, that's fixed it. So now those little white lines that were there previously, if I go hit undo, see just on the edge there, you can just see these white lines. So it takes you out of the moment. It looks like something's being superimposed over the top. So let's go back in there. I can redo that, and now those white lines are gone. So we've got, this is just a green screen, something out of LumaFusion again. So there's lots of green screen things. If you do a search, I'll just show you, remind you if you maybe missed the episodes, go into story blocks. I don't know if this one in particular is in story blocks, because I have a whole, I know you like white lines, Russ, of course you do. I was waiting for it. I'm going to put fire and then put green. And let's see if we get some fire green screen stuff. Did we? It doesn't look like it. What if I put chroma? Because we'll put screen. All right, so we got a burning background. Let's see what this one is. Russ. Right, so here's a something burning. So you, with green screen stuff, and you can find green screen stuff pretty easy online too. You know, you can find stuff to do that. I'll show you mine, or let's just try and put, because if you can't find anything under green screen, try chroma. Because green screen's always also known as chroma key. Oh, look, I got a fire hydrant. That will fit. Oh, how cool is that? It's not that cool, I know. Boring. All right, so I'm going to leave this fire in there. Let's have a look at it. Let's play it in with the clip. Okay, so what's missing from this clip, I hear you ask? Well, it's this, isn't it? It's definitely this. It's definitely that. It's absolutely not that. Let's remove that dork. He's gone. All right, let's go through these clips, because now what's left to do, as we go through this is to start to match the colors, because we have a whole lot of, if I go into some of these, in the effects, I have a whole lot of high contrast stuff. So I want to add the high contrast to the rest of these clips, because everything else is at normal kind of coloration. So around here, these are all normal coloration. So we're going to add some contrast to try and get everything to match going forward. Let's talk about this clip. What I've tried to do for this one in particular, it does have a high contrast added, but I've really turned up the vibrance and the saturation because I really wanted this lollipop and the colors to pop for this one. Yeah. Hey, Welton Kinder, good to see you, my friend. And I think that really pops there. This one's already had effects added to it. This particular one here has the exact same effect that I put on the previous camera moving, the zoom from my favorites. So this one's done. We don't need to do anything with this. And here's where we want to start adding some stuff to this. And I'm going to jump into this clip. And I'm going to start off by using this high contrast. And then I'm going to pull back some stuff, because here's what you can play with this. You can start off with any of these templates in here, and then it's up to you to wind back anything to make something, you know. I'm going to take out a little bit of this contrast and just make it a little bit brighter. I kind of want it to be, I want this part of the window to not show so clearly what's happening. Right? I want it to be really widened out so you can only see the faint silhouette of this guy creeping up to her to put a bullet in her head. See how it's all white and kind of washed out? I want that because I don't want it to be as clean as possible. So we're just going to stick with that for now. So again, I'm just washing things out with high contrast for this particular clip. So nothing too fancy. As you can see here with this particular clip too, I have stretched this wide open. It's only showing a portion of these guys walking. So it's actually a lot larger clip. But I thought I don't want to show their faces. Again, if you can avoid showing people's faces, that's a really good thing, you know, for using clips. So let's jump in here and add some contrast as well to this. And again, there's way too much on that. So here it is without, and here it is with. It's just that bit more menacing and brooding and evil kind of looking, but you can see it's still that same tone of high contrast. All right, so if you remember this clip from yesterday too, I've added a green screen effect to this. I thought it was a bit bland just with this guy sitting there. And so what have I added to this? I've zoomed in on him a little bit more. I've blurred him a little bit, just added a light blur to his face. So you can see here, that's unblurred, because I want this to be, you know, just, I like the blurring of faces in this. I don't want it to be so clear. It gives it more that demented kind of look, more like through the lens of something horrible. And I've added here a high contrast as well, but this is a green screen effect of some blood dripping. So if I turn off the chroma key, there it is there. So it's an effect of some blood just dripping, just splashing onto the screen. And if we turn back on the green screen, you'll see what effect we get. I like it. I think it just adds this, and it works because the line I'm singing in it is about blood. Let's show you so you can hear the line. So there you go. Again, I'm trying not to go too over the top. I could add so much more to this and really mess it up. Here's this shoe. Now this shoe is already pretty high contrast, but we're going to go in and fuck with it anyway, because we can. And what I'm going to choose, instead of choosing this high contrast, I'm just going to choose a basic contrast. And that, if we go between them, that's enough. Yeah, I don't want to go over the top. I think that's plenty, just to keep it in line with everything else that's got a contrast. Okay, again, we have a contrast we're going to add to this. Again, we're going to add this high contrast, but what I'm going to do is add some light to this. And I want to add some saturation. So I want to give the hand more coloration, and I want the blood to pop a little bit more. So we can take out some of that, because the blood's the important part of it, yeah? So let's have a look at it without. See, it's really faded without it. But now it's more focused on that hand. The shadowing's much more brutal, and the focus is the blood, yeah? Definitely the focus on the blood. Right, so this particular shot here of these guys running, this is a continuation of the other shot. Hey, Pete Johns, good to see you. Pete has a show coming up a couple of hours after my show finishes, kicking off Songtember today. So make sure you jump over there, because he's got some special guests on, and I might be one of them. Cat's out of the bag now. So here we go. Now I want to keep this the same as the previous image of the guys running, yeah? So we'll go back, see these guys here? So here's the best way to do it. I'm going to click on the clip. Now down the bottom we have a clipboard. Here's the clipboard. I'm going to click on this, and you can actually copy what's been added to this clipboard. Why have I got no effects on there? Let's see. Let's just double click on it. I've got high contrast. Okay, cool. So and also when you open it up, you've got a clipboard up the top here as well. So I'm gonna copy this, and now I'm gonna go over back to this clip here, and I'm gonna paste it, and now it's the exact same effects from this one. So it's a really good thing to keep in mind. Whenever you've got an effect on one thing and it's the same image that you've used again, go back, copy the actual effects that you've put on it, and then go and paste it on. So you're color matching everything fine, and you're not second guessing. Let's make sure that it did work. Did it work? Yeah. So we've got this high contrast on here as well. Exactly the same. Good stuff. Alrighty, so here's our dollar bill. Now there's two sections in this clip with the dollar bill, I do believe. There it is. So again, we're going to have to use the same contrasting on this. Now for this one, what I want to do is not so much add contrast, because already it's super contrasty. Yeah, so I'm going to just pick the plain contrast, and then I'm going to try and really add vibrance to this, make it super colorful so it really jars you out. So that's simple. And now I'm going to click on this and copy it again. Go down here, hit copy, and go and find the other note so I don't have to do this later. Click on that and hit the little pasteboard. Done. So those are matching. Everything's congruent there. Where are we? Now we've got this scene here. Again, nothing too exciting. We're just going to add a contrast, high contrast to that. Give it a little bit of brightness, just to brighten it up, but keep the contrast. So we want it to look dark and dingy. Yeah. I love that really bright dollar note. You know what? Let's go in here. Actually, what I'm going to do is go into the contrast. I'm going to turn up the contrast a bit. I'm actually going to take out some of this vibrance. It's probably a bit overkill. Let's see how that looks. I think that's better. That's more pleasing to my eye. Hey, Jamie. Good to see you, my friend. Dude. So I'm going to copy this again. Let's go in here and copy this. And we'll replace the dollar note back here. Yeah, so that's way too bright. So I was wrong in that. And we'll hit paste. That's much better. Much more higher contrast, not so bright. All right, so we're up to this section here where we did this yesterday. And if you recall from yesterday's video, we added this blur effect in here. And you'll see as the video goes on, it starts off with no blur, and as it gets to the end, it actually turns up to 5 here with the blur. So as he gets kidnapped and dragged back, the entire shot blurs out. So now we're going to need to add some contrast to this as well. And let's pull back some of that. Let's have a look at it. Perfect. Perfect. All right, so let's talk about this scene as well now. So I've added a few more little bits to this. So if you recall from yesterday, let's jump in and actually have a look at the clip. So this has got some editing done to it in relation to size. You'll see these key points down the bottom here. I've set a key point here and a key point here. And what happens between this is the camera zooms in for an effect. And the other thing that I've done here is, you'll notice whenever, you can always tell, just to remind you, you can always tell when I've added keyframes for animation. Down the bottom, this is frame and fit. And you can see there's a dot attached to it. And down here on the effects, there's a dot next to that. That lets you know that you've added keyframes to it. So let's jump over and have a look at this one, because I've added a zoom effect. So between these two dots here, if you look closely, as it zooms in, the girl begins to blur, and the focus becomes on the axe. Yeah. So again, it's only very small. Only very small. It's only a very short zoom, but very effective in the clip, because the axe is the focal point and she starts to blur out in the background. And with these zoom effects, the way you do it is this little marker here, you can drag this around. So this is, if I can, so this is where your focal point is, and you can decide how long you want the blur to be. So let's have a look at it in full screen so you can get the effect of what's going on. Lovely. So very minor, yeah. We'll do a little zoom on here. I can't do that. So yeah, nice, and it's very subtle. So it just gives focus on that axe. And again, I have added to this clip as well, in effects, I've added a high contrast. So if we turn off that contrast, you can see how faded out the original image was. Really, really faded. But when we add that contrast, it really darkens up all those shadows, makes everything pop. This one needs to have some contrast added to it. Nothing special to this one. So we'll go in, we'll add a contrast. We'll add a little bit of brightness to it. Turn up the contrast. Sweet. So it's kind of around that same look. All right, so here we are back at these guys in the forest. So what we're going to do is go back and find the effects that I added to them. And again, we're going to reuse these effects because we want everything to be as closely matched as possible. So once again, head down here to your clipboard, copy, and we're going to head over to this new clip of the guys. There they are, the wonderful terrorists in the bush, and click on the clipboard and hit paste, and that has now added that effect. And I think there's one more clip of these guys, I think. Let me find it. There they are there. So we'll add it to this one as well. Clipboard, paste. Nice and dark. Okie dokie, where are we? So we're up to this axe. Again, nothing too exciting. I don't really want to overcrowd the rest of the song. There's already kind of enough in there. Just going to add a contrast to this. Make it a bit darker. And we're going to try and bring up the vibrance of this to make the blood stand out as much as we can, yeah? Sweet. For this one, I'm going to blur this chick. I don't want you to see her as clearly as possible. So we'll head up here to our little blur section, and we'll add this blur. So just a basic blur. We'll turn that on and off so you can see. It doesn't do too much. It's only a very light blur. But it's just kind of obscuring her face and trying to stick with the whole topic of the song of you know, people being kidnapped and the anonymity of people getting kidnapped and no one really caring. And so it's just, yeah, that's the blur that why we're doing that. We'll add a contrast to this as well. Pour up some saturation to make her like stand out a bit more colorful. So there we go. That's enough for that. This little teddy bear just needs a little bit of contrast, and we'll lighten this up. Pull it back a bit so you can see. I'm going to pull it back a bit, lighten it up, and I think give it some vibrance because it's a toy. We want to give it some color, make it pop a little bit. We've got some bones here. I was going to make these black and white, but I've got a black and white thing coming up. So we'll just add some contrast to this. And you'll see I want these to be actually more white colored as bones. So that's cool. We got the dollar note. That's been done. This one's going to be easy to do. Again, just adding a contrast, and look how much this will come out. This lovely merry-go-round. We'll lighten it up a bit. Okay, so you can see the difference there. Absolutely faded and horrible and really boring. For this particular clip, it's nice. For this clip, we are going to blur both of these people out. Again, I've already explained why. So we'll click up the top here to our blur tool. Simple blur. There you go. That's enough. We'll add a contrast again. How do you remove a white background with a chroma key? We went over that a little bit in the beginning of the show. I'm just going to add a little bit of brightness to this. Oops, I went to another program. So I can show you that. In your chroma key, let's go back. Mango Talk. In your chroma key at the top here, there's a little key symbol here. And when you click on this, you are given the option of a green screen chroma key, a blue screen chroma key, a ocean, a blue, so it's a dark blue, a dark, and a light chroma key. So that's your white there. So you basically just click on that. If I click on that, it totally ruins the effect because this one has a green chroma key on it. Let me now remove this. Goodbye. So that is how you do it. You've got white. It's called light, but it's close enough to white. So that's how you use your chroma key there. Can you blur out their faces? You can. We can do that. So, but it's, where was the image? Where was the video that we're doing? The problem is with something like a moving footage, paying to get, is because it's actually moving. That's where you come into a problem. So you'd have to put keyframes in. So I'll show you what I mean. So you would have to click on the effects, choose the actual blurring, right? Say we're doing it, and then go in here and add keyframes for the blur. So as the camera is moving, so here we go, let's drag. You would have to make the actual blur follow the movement of their faces. So you're getting it all in. So it takes a little bit of time. It takes a little bit of time to do. As we go on, and so I'm going to be doing more and more shows on this over time. So we will start doing some shorter shows, just looking at things like this going forward. So I'll try my best to do this kind of stuff. There are some channels out there that can help you. Kev, if Kev's still here, there's a really good channel on YouTube of a guy, I can't think of his name. Sai or Kev will remember. If you guys are here, can you put it into, there we go, Rob HK. Thank you, Seba, for putting that in there. Rob HK, look up Rob HK. He's got some really cool videos on LumaFusion and got some really cool effects you can download and stuff like that. So do that as well. We are 10 minutes from the end. We're probably going to go a little bit over today. What I want to do with this clip as well, before we move forward, I just want to change. I want to move this down a bit. Let's do this. I just want to get a little bit more of his head in the shot. We're good there. So this gun, again, we've already done something for that clip. Where are we? This one here. So again, I'm going to copy this, go down to our clipboard, try and keep it congruent. Copy and head over to this particular gun. And we'll paste these effects in here. What have I done there? I've actually moved that. So let's do this. We want to bring that down a little bit. Cool. All right, again, this effect here, just going to add some contrast to this and a bit of brightness so we can see that smoke. So this is the blood dripping down the headlights of a car. Again, we have this carousel. We're going to just hit some high contrast on this, pull it back a little bit, brighten it up, give it some more vibrance. So this one, let's see what we can do with this. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I have a green screen effect, a little green screen thing I want to put over this. So I've turned this one black and white. So this is a woman who's been tied up and she's trying to escape. She's got this file in her pocket. And what I'm thinking of doing is grabbing this, dragging it into the timeline. And what it is a green screen of a camera. Let's go in here and we'll change the size of this. We'll shrink it down a little bit. It might not work because of the aspect ratio. It might kind of look stupid, and I think it's going to. So, but I thought I would give it a go. And I'm going to add a green screen to this to remove the green. Yeah, kind of, sort of. No, not really. That's sad. I don't know. What do you guys think? Does it work? Let's go full screen. It kind of doesn't work. Maybe, sort of. Maybe, sort of. I don't know. Let's have a look. We'll go back to a whole clip. Not sure. Not sure. So what I've done, I'll tell you what I have fucked up. I've fucked up a fair bit here. I need to fix this up, align this up, because something's wrong here. Let's move this over. What's my lyrics here? I don't really think you would. Do you really want to know? Auntie G, this song's about human trafficking and the amount of people each year who go missing. So it's a pretty bleak kind of song, but it is what it is because the shit happens. Cool, I think that's right. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this, I'm just going to change this up a little bit. I'm going to take out some of the colors of this and see what we can do to make this match a little bit more. No, it didn't have any specific meaning. It was just because the chick was tied up and trying to escape. Yeah, I don't know why I thought of it. It was a last minute thing that I kind of thought of, and now that I'm thinking about it, it's not going to work anyway. I'm going to take the saturation out of this. That's going to be better. I think that matches a bit more. Yeah, that's going to be better for that. Yeah, I don't think it works. So we'll ditch it. If it had been if it had fit the aspect ratio, maybe. But let's ditch it. It's alright to try these things. It doesn't hurt to try these things. Again, this one we're going to add some saturation. Pretty much the same kind of thing for the rest of this. And I'm going to try and bang up the vibrance a bit. I want that to kind of look as dirty as possible. This missing child one here, going to add some contrast to it. Make it a bit lighter. Lighter. So what have I done to this clip? I just want to cover this as well. I've added some keyframes to this. So, and I've zoomed right in to give this some impact. So as you can see, the photo starts there, the video starts there, and zooms in on the actual image to give it some more impact. So that's all I've really done there. This one here, we're going to give some contrast, vibrance, pull that back a little bit. And this is a new scene I added in. So I replaced this scene. This was at the end. I just didn't like it. I don't know, it didn't work. So I replaced it with this. And I've already added effects to this one. I've added some contrast to it. We need to add, contrast has already been added to that. And now I want to talk about this last clip. So this little girl screaming. So what I've done with this is added a number of effects to it. So here we've got a blur, and the blur actually creeps in. So I've set keyframes for this, one at the start. So it starts off with her absolutely clean. And as the clip goes on, I'll just move the, as the clip goes on, it blurs her ever so slightly. Oops, I've taken the wrong one out. So there you go. It actually blurs her out ever so slightly. But what I've also added, we'll turn off that and turn on, I've added a short zoom. So as we go along the clip here, you'll see everything kind of zooms around her. Like you're in, like if you've seen Star Wars, how the Millennium Falcon shoots off into hyperspace. So that's what I've gone with that effect in there. And then when we turn them both on, it kind of gives that impression of kind of bleakness, because that's what we're going for, bleak. Yay for bleak. And have I added, let me just check. So, and now I just need to add a contrast to this as well. And that's going to be enough just to make it pop. And this is our last scene, this little teddy bear. And this is going to do for now. So we'll add some high contrast to this. We'll add some saturation to make it pop and some vibrance. Lighten it up a little bit. And that is the last part of the clip. So now what we're going to do in the last kind of few minutes is I want this to fade out. And if you have a look at the audio clip down here, you can see where it begins to fade, the actual part of the song here that fades out. If I play that, so it's about here. So what I'm going to add is a transition, very simple transition, just a dip, drag this transition onto the end of the track, and now I'm going to click on the transition and just drag it along to where the song starts actually fading out. And it should fade out with the music. Okay, so the last bit here is I'm going to take this, the advertisement at the end, And I'm going to drag this out to about 15 seconds. And I'm going to add a dip to the end. And I'm going to grab a dip from here and add it to the start. And let's bring this up. Oops, I always do that, man. We'll click on the dip. I'm going to drag this out to about 2. And the same for the end. There we go. So now it should end. It gives a little bit of space before the ad comes on the end to let people know that where they can get the music. Sweet. And if that's too long, it probably is a bit long. So it's 11 seconds. We can just drag, clip on the clip in the middle, and don't do what I just did then, because that sucks. We can undo that and just make it a bit shorter. So we can make it about 6 seconds. Done. Right, so we've got all these clips here at the end of my track. Look at all this stuff. This is all the junk. All the junk that I haven't used. So let's get rid of all that, yeah? So down the bottom here, I'm going to click this little box with the tick in it. And now I can hit select, so I can drag my finger, grab all this crap, hit delete, gone, bitch! And now we can go in to the last bit, this little clip here. Click on that, delete, that's it, we're done. So I'm going to go over all this at the end of this show and just refine some things. I could have made some little mistakes along the way, and I'll fix those up. And tomorrow, when we do the show for Songtember kickoff for my birthday show, playing your music, I'll premiere the whole finished clip. I'll have it up on YouTube and premiere it for the show as well. Cool. But let's just cover what is happening tomorrow one more time. So we have, tomorrow is Songtember. It is called YML, Your Mum, live. The day after that, we're doing the first day of Songtember, where I'm going to start recording my first track for my 6-song EP for our Songtember. I'm doing a 6-song EP. That's going to be fun. And then on the day after that is the kickoff for our special 4 episodes on marketing and promoting yourself on the Wart series. And we're looking at biographies, how to talk about yourself, how to sell yourself, how to make a little blurb to add to your profiles and stuff. So that's what we're doing there. Cool. Bananas. Remember, Pete Johns has a show coming up in about 2 hours time, kicking off Songtember on his channel. I'll be on there as a special guest and a whole bunch of other people, so make sure you join that. And let's go out with this version of KindaKore. Thank you all very much for hanging out over the last few episodes and getting involved in. So I hope this has helped you out and you feel a little bit more confident about making clips with LumaFusion, because it's incredibly powerful. It's incredibly cool. And just with things like story blocks, you can make some very compelling videos. And I hope you're feeling a little bit more confident about it, because these shows are for you. You guys rock. Remember, we all rise together. Yeah? Do the things that make you happy. Make mistakes, they make you better. And I will see you on Pete's show soon and tomorrow to celebrate my birthday. Woot, 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 woot. Have a great day and enjoy the tune. Bye.